Welcome to Nerd Sports. Today we're going to talk about. I don't want to talk about what we're going to talk about because I know how horrible it is on both our scales. We were talking about it earlier, and yeah. But we all will talk about it. The Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah, the McGregor fight that was that was McGregor just hasn't had the best of luck lately. Now you can say that he's overhyped, that he's all talk, there's no action. Fact of the matter is that the guy has held belts before. Um, he's a good fighter, and and I was reading some of the comments on Facebook. Um, After the fight was over, and it's funny. You start to see, how Facebook always brings out the experts in whatever field after an event happens.
Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. So we started seeing these orthopedic specialists. We started seeing these MMA experts and all these commentators and all these people with these really just kind of regurgitated talking points coming out. Like, that's the first sign that the fighter's going downhill is when he gets an easy break on his leg, and it's like, look,
No, it wasn't easy.
the tibia
break.
is one of the hardest bones in the body.
No, what had happened?
I think what happened was he overtrained. He had a hairline fracture that he didn't know about.
No, that was the first kick. He had he got a hairline fracture off of the first kick.
Okay.
And then what happened after that is during the rumble and tumble and everything, after the second kick, that's when it broke, and it just I legitimately I was gonna throw up in a freaking trash can. It was just I was like, oh, it was like, oh, this is a good fight. This is a good fight. This is a oh god.
Yeah, anytime you see those types of injuries when they're happening on real time and we're in real time on TV, you're just like, oh, did that just happen? And then they play it over and over and over.
Yes, I was like, okay, because I was doing due diligence this weekend because I didn't have anything else better to do. So I was like, oh yeah, the Conor McGregor fight was this weekend. A lot of the Drinker Brothers were talking about it. And they went down to Las Vegas to go see it. That was one thing I really want to do is just do our cast at a sporting event. That seems very, very interesting. The other thing that happened that is I guess it's a new basketball league that Ice Cube.
Okay.
You might laugh, but it's what it is. It's
Is it one of these 3-on-3 leagues?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's usually
That's his league.
Yeah, well, if you look back, a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of rap artists, a lot of music mogul type people, they'll start those street ball leagues, and they may seem like they're going to stick around for a while at first, but they're going to be like everything else. The NBA is going to get in on it, and they're going to be like, yeah, this is not something that we want, and then they're going to bury it.
Well, a lot of the players for the 3-on-3 are actual legitimate old players, or not really old players, but
Players who don't have jobs currently.
more like there's a couple of them that basically didn't have a good break,
Yeah.
and then they went to this, and they're like all stars.
Well,
But they also have like the some of the coaches are from the women's league, so it's an interesting way for basketball.
if he does it right and he keeps the NBA's fingers out of the pie, I think he'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
He'll last for at least a couple of seasons. But the big thing, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game was Tuesday night. The American League won again, 5-2 over the National League. There was a lot of things that stood out. The uniforms, ugly. Oh my God! On a scale of ugly to atrocious, I think they ranked probably heavier towards the atrocious side.
Well, this is the
Well, traditionally they've always played in their uniforms, in their home team's uniforms, and anybody that would be following it, anybody that knows anything about baseball is going to know, okay, well, the American League's up to bat, so the guys with the helmets on, and they know what teams are American versus National League. But
Well, they still have their team logo on it. It's just once on the side, and the rest of the players.
I just didn't like them. I didn't like them. You're oversimplifying it. You're making it into a spectacle, and it's like, what's the point here? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? I didn't agree with them. I didn't like the uniforms. The home run derby, Pete Alonso.
God, those jerseys are freaking expensive.
Yeah, they are, and it's just because they're all-star jerseys.
It's 100. I guarantee it's like 100. There's some of them that are selling for 400.
Yeah, they will, but the home run derby, Pete Alonso won back-to-back. They didn't have an all-star game last season, so obviously 2020 was just kind of like a little asterisk mark there. But,
And for viewer or listeners actually that are listening on Apple and Spotify, I'll post this on the Facebook page of the league stuff for our 2 podcast listeners, I guess.
right, yeah, but we got the trade deadline coming up for Major League Baseball, so there's going to be a lot of hot stove stories out there. The Cubs are rumored to be one of these teams that are just going to blow everything up, and they're going to go through a rebuild, so they're going to start trading away some of their bigger pieces for prospects and things of that nature. No, with the home run derby, the Major League Baseball decided to do something for the fans for a change, because Colorado, when they opened up Coors Field at the very beginning, when the Rockies first became a team, the balls were flying out of that park left and right, and they couldn't figure out why. And then somebody finally decided to get the bright idea of putting a humidor at the ballpark to store baseballs in, so that way, the balls would be heavier, or they would fly at that altitude like they would at a normal altitude style ballpark. But for the home run derby, they didn't juice the balls or anything like that. They just pulled them out of the box, put them in a pitcher's basket, a batting practice basket, and then just let the batting practice pitchers just toss them. So the balls weren't, humidified or whatever it was that they go through, and these balls were absolutely getting demolished. Pete Alonso, he plays for the Mets, and he was a rookie a few years ago.
You're talking about the home run derby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was another thing that I know that was supposed to be going on this weekend, too.
Yeah, I mean, he hit these home runs that were like 500-plus feet. And it was a fun thing to watch. I watched a little bit of it. The one thing that stuck out the most, and I feel kind of like an asshole for it, but then again, I really don't, but Shohei Ohtani, he was he participated in the home run derby, and he was actually the number 1 seed, right? He was projected to win. He got bounced in the first round.
Yeah, he was. That was
Juan
hilarious.
Soto. Yeah, Juan Soto from Washington Nationals took care of him in the first round, but
and Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso won it for the second time in a row. He beat Trey Mancini. Now the story about Trey Mancini, the reason why that's such a feel-good story, is that Trey Mancini, this is his first season back after beating cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he didn't play at all last year, and I think he missed part of the 2019 season as well because he was diagnosed with cancer, and he immediately started doing chemo treatments and everything like that, and went into remission. And he's putting up pretty decent numbers, which is kind of not sort of saying a whole lot. It's not really saying a whole lot considering who he plays for, but because he plays for Baltimore, and Baltimore they've got a death grip on last place in the American League East. But the thing about the All-Star game is that there are no professional sports scheduled for the day before, the day of, or the day after the All-Star game. I mean, when the All-Star game for baseball is being played, the entire sports universe looks at Major League Baseball. I mean, that's supposed to be their midsummer classic, and I mean, the fan, but the game to me just it's kind of taken on the same legitimacy as like say the Pro Bowl for the NFL. I mean, yeah, these guys they want to show up and they want to represent the league. They want to show up and put on a show for the fans, but there's no meaning for the game. It used to be that the winner of the All-Star game got, that league got to host the World Series. And then the commissioner of baseball, in all of his infinite wisdom, decided that he was going to go for, the team with the best record overall for the regular season. That league was going to host it. And, it put more emphasis on winning during the regular season. Um, they're proposing more rule changes, which I agree with some of them. Like for example, getting rid of the 7 inning doubleheader games. I just think that's just dumb. Like, yeah, let's shorten the game because we've got 2 games to play. Who cares, right? Play 2 9-inning games. It's the way we've done it for over 150 years. There's no reason why we need to change that, right? But starting the extra innings with a man on second, they're going to do away with that. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And I think that that's a good thing because while the runner in scoring position to start the extra innings with helped speed things along, and it kind of all but took out the possibility of these 14, 15, 16 inning games. For years, we've had games like that. For years, we've had games like that. And it's up to these professional athletes to get out there and make things happen. And to me, it takes out a lot of the managerial strategy when you have that extra runner, because now you're not as reliant on your bullpen. You can put in your short-term aces for 3 batters, whereas with these extended games, it really puts a tax on the bullpen. It makes the bullpens a premium, and you really have to you really have to pitch as opposed to just trying to blow stuff by these guys.
Yeah.
And another thing that they're looking at trying to get rid of is putting a limit on or banning altogether these defensive shifts, where if you're looking at the camera angles that are back behind home plate and you see these, you see where the third baseman's supposed to be over there on the left field line, he's all the way over where the shortstop's supposed to be, and then you've got 4 or 5 different infielders on the right side of the diamond, or vice versa, depending on who's up to bat. And
why are they doing that?
Well, it's to take away. It's to take away these like seeing eye singles and seeing eye doubles and stuff like that. These little dribblers that kind of shoot the gaps a little bit, or sometimes these blue pits. And by blue pits, I'm talking about stuff that falls just beyond the reach of the infielders. For example, you'll have the second baseman, if he's playing in the shift, he's playing shallow right field. And so even if a ball gets past the first line of infielders, if it gets past the first baseman, all the first baseman's got to do, he's got to go down cover first, and the second baseman's there in the outfield to pick up this ball and throw the runner out. And I think that they depend too heavily on that defensive shift. Yeah, it relies on the hitters to try to learn how to hit the ball the other way. But the defenses and teams have become more and more reliant on the shift to take away base hits from these hitters. And it really doesn't. I mean, to me, the only people that used to traditionally have shifted were the outfielders. Like, if you get in there for like one of these beer league type softball league games, right? You get somebody like me who's a southpaw, and you're like, oh, he's a lefty, and then they all move towards right field because most people, especially left-handers, they pull to that side, right? And that's fine. Do that. if you're going to shift your outfielders because, I mean, they've got more ground to cover, so they're the ones that need to move around. But position players on the infield, they need to stay the hell home. I mean, they need to stay where they're at. I mean, they need to stay where they're assigned to play. And to me, that's more of a heads-up style baseball. So I agree with them removing the defensive shifts, or at the very least limit the number of defensive shifts that you can employ per game. Maybe
Because
two or
don't
three.
they want everybody to at least play in the All-Star game that's on the team, or just not say they showed up to the All-Star team?
Well, the All-Star team is decided on mostly by fan vote.
Yeah.
So the fans vote people onto the All-Star team, and then the managers that are managing those teams have the option of selecting a player from their team to take with them that
Okay.
otherwise wouldn't have been on the All-Star team. But generally speaking, yes, you will if you make it to the All-Star team, you will play in that game. And so, they need to figure out a way to give the All-Star game a little bit more of a meaning. Make it more of an important type game. I'm not saying that these players are kind of just, throwing it out there. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, they're not phoning it in, because I mean, you really can't phone it in when you're playing baseball. You can't. I mean, without it being too completely obvious that that's what you're doing. Like you would see somebody not hauling, not running it out down the first baseline, and it just you need to be 100% on your effort all the time when you're out there on that diamond, when you're out there on the field playing that game. So I mean, the guys that make this All-Star team, they know they know that it's important, because at the end of their career, I mean, you'll see like World Series champion, MVP, Rookie of the Year. You'll see, how many Gold Gloves they won, how many Silver Slugger awards that they've won. You'll see how many times that they were selected to the All-Star team. And these are some of the metrics that they're measured on when it comes to their Hall of Fame considerations. So, there's going to be some rule changes that are going to come down. The one thing I really want them to stay away from is automating the strike zone, because you take that away, you're going to take away some of the drama, you're going to take away some of the suspense, and you're going to take away that human element from behind the plate. Because those umpires, they're humans, just like everybody else out on that field. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to have a bad call, unless you're people like Angel Hernandez, when he just makes a career out of bad calls and then wants to, say that it's everybody else's fault. But I digress.
This just happened a couple of last night, but it's being reported on this morning. NFL's Richard Sherman taken down by a canine and fight with cops before arrested, police say. We actually were talking about this up at my job, and and it confused me because he was arrested for burglary. Man, my dyslexia hit up high on that one.
Don't worry, man. I can never say that word either. Burglary. See, there we go.
See, okay. And domestic violence.
Scotch.
So basically, what in my realm of thinking is he broke into his ex-wife's house, beat the crap out of her, and stole some shit.
Well, then good. He needed to get bit and arrested.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is what's funny. This is so trashy. You can't say it's white trash or ghetto trash or anything. It's just trashy, because he even when he ran for the cops, he hit a thing on a barrier. He hit a barrier. And then, from what it's saying here, he decided to park it in a garage after all of his tires, or most of the tires on the vehicle, were destroyed. And they were basically completely worn off. It was the old cops after a long speed chase, and he basically was keep on going on a rim. And you have sparks flying and everything. So, it wasn't an OJ speed chase. It was the regular trashy speed chase.
Yeah. Well, he got denied bail, so he's still sitting in jail.
Yeah. Well, the dog bit him in his legs, so I hope he tore him up. I mean, he was. Oh no! Okay. He was trying to break into a family member's home in Richmond, Washington, before his arrest on Wednesday morning. This occurred to law enforcement.
Yeah, Redmond Police Department spokesperson told TMZ that the incident all went down at about 2 in the morning. They showed up to the residents in the Redmond area after receiving a call from the occupants inside the home and claimed a family member who did not live there was trying to break in. When they arrived on the scene, they identified Sherman as the suspect and claimed he became uncooperative and combative during questioning. He allegedly fought with the cops so much they were told that the canine was deployed to take him down and help bring him into custody.
Well, he ran.
Yeah. Cops say he was taken to the hospital to be looked at for possible injuries before he was eventually booked at the county jail. He crashed his vehicle into a cement barrier on the highway and then advanced on foot. And so it says as of right now that the jail records show that he is still sitting in jail, and the timestamp on this is the 14th, which is today.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still sitting in there. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's got not a team lawyer, but he's got a lawyer out there that, well, they denied him bail, so I mean, he's not getting out. So they're gonna hold him. Yeah, his career's over. So, you know.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, this is true. The
I mean, look what Michael Vick, he destroyed like dogs in a fighting ring, and they brought him back.
I can't remember.
He's gonna what's gonna happen is he's gonna get arrested. He's gonna go serve a little bit of jail time, or may not serve any kind of jail time. He's gonna be suspended from NFL. After he served his time, he's gonna go back. And they're going, okay, yeah, we'll take you off now after everybody's forgotten. There's a guy in NBA right now. I forget his name. But he legitimately beat his wife. I mean, there's even a wife beater in the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, on something like this, they just don't... I'm not saying, you know, that all should be forgiven if they serve their time and everything like that. No, because they're going to be making big time bucks. It's basically people like that should be like shunned.
They should. You know, we got drug abusers, we got wife beaters, and until Aaron Hernandez went all Jeffrey Epstein. Well, I say that because Aaron Hernandez actually did kill himself.
Oh yeah.
You know
it. He didn't. What time frame are we on? Okay, I'm good. Basically, he got embarrassed for sucking dick.
No, he. Well, yeah.
Because he murdered those people that he sucked the dick off of.
You're talking about Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. There was rumors that went around that he was gay and.
No, it wasn't no fucking rumors. He legitimately...
Off the breaks there, Fox and Friends. Don't come at me
legitimately...
like that. I was saying that there was rumors of it that were later proven, but no, you had to jump in because you think that somehow you got some kind... I know something he doesn't. Dude.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It's just how he did it.
Okay, and like I was going to say, but that's all right. You know, it's all good. I'll let you have your little moment in the sun. So.
Okay. What was really messed up with this whole thing is he took him out. He was hiding away. He put him out into a construction site, did the deed with another man, and then killed him. You know what? Maybe we should do the next episode of Psychos and Sociopaths on him.
Aaron Hernandez? No,
yes.
Man. Because we'd be sitting there doing a profile about a murderer and a sports episode would break out. No, we need to keep that stuff separate.
I think they have a law against separation and everything.
Yeah, I mean, if it's good enough for Major League Baseball to move an entire All-Star game based on some false bullshit, I'm going to employ the same logic here.
Fine. All right. Fine.
All right.
Whatever. Anyways, now here's another interesting thing. This has happened July 4th, and it just popped up on my radar. And it's kind of strange. I've been peering at this, and basically her name is Yana Skozova. It's really weird that I can speak Russian pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Was released from police custody on July 4th. And the reason why is because they were doing an investigation on organized fraud and sport corruption. And she was released. She was shocked and rejected charges of crime she was never committed. These accusations harming her reputation and everything. And in all reality, this is in different countries and everything like that. So she is allowed to leave France according to sports corruption, which is punishable by 5 years in prison and 500,000 euros, 600,000 American fine. She was suspected of fraud as part of an organized group. Under this article, she could face up. But she was acquitted on all these charges. I'm saying all this stuff, but she was acquitted of all these charges. She has nothing to do with this stuff. It's just, it's like they just don't have anything else better to do on this one.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
I mean, for it's funny because it's like the week started off with a very promising, we had the McGregor fight, we had the All-Star game. Richard Sherman gets arrested for being a knucklehead.
Yeah.
Which and honestly,
that happened this morning though. But this week is getting strange.
And I'm going to take, this is going to be my hot take on it. I didn't really like Richard Sherman to begin with. I thought he was a defensive player version of Terrell Owens.
Okay.
I kind of had a feeling that it was only a matter of time before he did something stupid like this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
It's one of those things you just look at a person, he's like, huh, this person's trashy.
Yeah, exactly. But, well, let me see here. The Olympics are coming up.
Yeah, what, the Olympics are next week?
Yeah, they're next week. The only thing I'm even remotely...
There was another thing there...
The only thing I'm remotely interested in watching as far as the Olympics are going to be concerned is the baseball tournament. I mean, honestly. And it's just because baseball keeps getting taken in and out of the Olympics because the IOC can't make up their mind as to whether or not it's an actual sport, but yet they're going to include things like skateboarding.
Yeah, well, they were looking at the numbers for people that are wanting to watch the the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And like all things that are on TV nowadays, they're going down.
Yeah.
Cable TV is obsolete. And I've said this for years. Cable TV is going to go obsolete.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so much the fact that it's cable TV. I think that's the fact that it's the NBC networks. So it's like people, when they watch sports, they just want to watch sports. We talked about this last time on our last episode. People watch sports. They want to watch sports. They don't want political commentary mixed in.
Even though and it's so easy to get into that trap. We do it all the time.
It is, but NBC makes it a point.
Well,
they make it a point.
So does Sports News.
But yeah, I mean, hell, even ESPN even does it.
Yeah.
But
what's their main show?
SportsCenter.
SportsCenter, yeah.
Yeah.
It happens all the time on SportsCenter.
Yeah, and I don't watch SportsCenter anymore. I don't. I could care less. I mean, the only time that I might watch it is if like maybe Kenny Maynes. Oh no, Kenny Maynes is retiring, but Eric Eric Van Pelt, I think his name is, the bald headed guy. I like him, so I mean I might watch it every once in a while. Scott Van Pelt, thank you. Hello, brain, but you know it. I don't know. Let's see here. Personally, in the sports world, um, last week took my boys to Houston to visit my girlfriend, and took everybody to the Astros game on Tuesday.
How was that?
Or
You were saying that the
Wednesday night. Wednesday
you were-
night.
You were saying that the stadium was different, but
Was it
didn't
Tuesday
we?
night?
Did
Tuesday
we?
night, yeah.
Didn't we look up that it was?
Well,
it was
to
by
me-
the same
well,
designer.
I think the same architects did design both parks, but to me,
Maybe it's
I
because
think
you
Globe
went-
Life Field is so close to Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium, that they were trying to make it look like the Death Star down in Arlington. It's to me, Globe Life Field is just. I mean, it has this. It has aesthetically, it has its perks.
Yeah.
But they're far few and in between, coupled with the the obstructed view seating, which to me just makes it a horrible ballpark. But going into Minute Maid Park, I mean, it's literally tucked into downtown Houston. And from the outside, it's a great looking park. It's all brick. There's not a lot of steel on it. And what steel is very functional, very deliberately placed. It's very structural, right?
Mm-hmm.
But walking in, first and foremost, it's a beautiful park on the inside. It really is. The acoustics in that park are pretty good, and we had seats initially in the 400 level.
Do they do concerts in that park?
I think they do, but the one thing that I did notice right off the bat that Minute Maid has over Globe Life Field in Arlington is the fact that Minute Maid has natural grass. Globe Life is just all AstroTurf, and I think that that's just lazy on the part of the city of Arlington. But not that I got to worry about anybody from Arlington city government listening to the show, but if they do, hey, you know what? You guys missed the ball on that one. You screwed the pooch. But
Minute Maid Park is in Houston.
yeah, but you know, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I ever going to become an Astros fan. Me and my two boys, we represented Boston. I mean, and Boston wasn't even playing; they were playing the Oakland A's, and we wore our Red Sox gear, and we just did not care.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, most park. It's just one of those things that I forget that most parks they use it for other things. Like they had the 2020 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean,
in Minute
but
Maid
still,
Park.
you can even with
How
the
the
natural
fuck was
grass,
that
like
possible?
Fenway Park. It's an outdoor park. They have natural grass, obviously. So when they have
How's that
concert events
possible?
there, they roll the sod back. They remove the field for people to go onto the down on that level to to have like floor seats. So it's possible. It's something that's very obtainable, something that you can do. It's a manageable thing. It's been done. But Minute Maid Park is
That's why.
Minute Maid Park is a really cool park, man. I mean, even from the 400 level, which is the nosebleed seats, dude, the view was great. It really was. And then they're generally speaking, after the fourth inning, if there's empty seats, scattered around the park, you can come down from your nosebleed seats and you can take seats other places, and just as long as you don't try to get down to the 100 level, which we did. We went down one too many flights of escalators, and we were like, oh well, I think we went down one too many levels, and noticed that there was section over there by the left field corner down the third base line,
Mm-hmm.
right down there by the foul pole. There was no usher, so we were like, the worst that'll happen is that they tell us to go back to our seats, and then we just go up one level and just find some seats there. But we sat there for the rest of the game. From about the fifth inning on, we sat down on the first level. And dude, I'm telling you, man, those seats are amazing.
Were they more cushioned than one like
No, it's
seat
just
row?
just the view.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
Because
mean,
I'm
yeah.
looking at the seats right now. Because I was just curious. I'm looking at the seats right now. It's like, what the hell is he talking about? The seats are great. You know, they just look like ballpark seats.
Yeah, I mean the seats are. I mean just the angle that you can view the game, the
Yeah.
your proximity to the field, just being able to hear the sights, the sounds. Just you can we got to see a really great play. Brantley, he plays for Houston. He's their left fielder. Um, Oakland had the bases loaded, and there was nobody out. Uh, it should have been just a routine sacrifice fly where the ball gets hit far enough out into the outfield. The outfielder catches it. The runner that's on third can tag by touching the base, and then he can try to score on the play. Brantley comes in and he charges the ball. He catches it on the run, takes 2 steps, and just uncorks this strike. The pitcher is standing in between. He's standing in the path of the ball, and he just lets it go right by him. Their catcher receives the throw and tags the runner out for a double play. It was a great play. And as much as I dislike the Astros, that was a good play. I mean, that's one of those you got to tip your hat to them. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a back and forth kind of a game for a while there.
I swear to God, I think the mic is picking up stuff from what we were talking about, because this came up on my thing.
Okay.
Google Chrome. Rush Limbaugh's final net worth left from his family in tears.
Oh,
Because we were talking about Rush Limbaugh.
Yes, because if you can notice, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, there's a golden microphone back there. Rush Limbaugh, Il Rushbaugh, talked. He did his show, the Rush Limbaugh Show, from a golden microphone at his studios in Florida. So yeah, let me see here. Let me see. Rush. No, not that. I can type. All right. I see here. Yeah, ties at 70. Did it? Okay, so what's the name of the article here?
Hold on. Let me copy and paste it.
No net worth. Okay, here we go.
It's just doing the net worth of all this stuff.
Oh, on Snopes?
Yeah.
I hate that website. Oh, we're the fact checkers. Yes, but they're a very left-leaning fact checker.
Yeah.
Let me see here. That left his family in tears. Okay.
I had to click like 50 different things just to find his.
I hate those. Let me see here.
It's to the point when, after like 3 of them, I'm like, this is the reason why we need to get like producers.
Okay, yeah, see, all right, so
It's one of those articles that's
2
just,
pages claimed that he was worth $8 million, while the 3rd page said the figure was $10 million. Let me see here. As for Limbaugh's actual net worth, the real figure was not made public. A number of websites have mentioned the amount around $600 million, which I would believe to be more accurate. I mean, because the guy had a syndication deal. He used to have a TV show. He's an author, so he's got several books that were out there.
yeah, but if you got to think, $10 million should, like, it sets you up.
It does, but with the person, with the presence the size that Rush Limbaugh had,
You'd be surprised. That's like Stan Lee.
He had a lot. He had a lot of lucrative deals.
Well, that's like what I was telling somebody. They were saying that it was like, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, $260 billion. He's like, he has all that money. I was like, I can tell you right now, he probably has in his account
Maybe a third of it.
Yeah, maybe a third of it.
You know.
And most of what this calculation is actually up up for is all of his properties, stuff that he could liquidate. And even they're just like us. Whenever they buy something big, they still have to get it on credit.
Yeah.
Though they don't buy it right out, what a lot of people think.
No.
Like, oh, they just threw money at it. It's like, no, that's not what happened.
No, they've got to finance that. They're making payments just like us. Just their checkbook's just a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I was like, who was it? Matt Best. I looked at his stuff one day. It was like $3 million. I was like, and this is when I was talked to him at TAC. I was like, how false are those net worth things? You think? He's like, I just wish I had the money that they say I have, because I could use it right now. He's telling me his wife was pissed the fuck off because he bought like a $6,000 Predator outfit. It was I told him, I was like, why didn't you write that off? I mean, did you not tell her that you could write it off as a business expense? It's like, oh yeah, you can do that, right? I was like, yeah, because you put it on a film, dude. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh my God. Your company's $100 million, dude. And he was like,
they're knuckleheads just like we are.
They are. And they say this all the time. That's what's really funny is, and when you talk to these people, it is so refreshing that, because it doesn't take a genius to make $1 million.
I guess I fell asleep that day in class.
We both did. We really screwed the pooch on that one. But it just takes tenacity and force of will to make it happen. I mean, and we're going to talk about this on our Sunday show on What the Hell, because we're going to go over all the stuff that we want to happen and wish for, basically. I did it in quotations of you, and if you watch the YouTube channel.
Watching one hand, or wanting one hand, shit in the other. Tell me which one fills up first.
Yeah, but it's basically trying to, because I didn't ask. Like, I was talking to Ross Patterson, one of the main hosts for Drinking Bros, and if you, I mean, even Joe Rogan's, if you look at the evolution of his show, he literally had this. I mean, actually, we have more than he did starting out.
Yeah. A lot of what Joe Rogan got and acquired from his humble beginnings was his name.
Yeah.
So, until we can find a game show where we ask people to eat buffalo dicks for $500,000, or no, the purses weren't even that big. They were like, what, 50 grand?
No, it was lower than that. It was like 10 grand.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah, it was. Well,
Yeah,
adjusted for inflation, it might be 50,000 today.
Because I look at those game shows, and you're thinking, oh, they're doing some ridiculous stuff for some big money. And you're like, they're getting $5,000. They're getting what? Dude just got hit in the balls for $5,000. I mean, I'd do it.
It's
5,000 is 5,000.
It's one of those. I mean, it's the
$20 is $20.
Yeah, it's the $20. Yeah, it's the $20 is $20. Just like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man. I mean,
it's like they find people without any dignity. I mean, I don't have dignity. I'd still do it, but and what's even funnier than that is game shows right now are on the hype, because it doesn't take that much time to do them.
No.
They do. I mean, Jeopardy. They still had Alex Trebek, and he died like 3 months before.
Yeah, they've still got shows that they filmed for him in the can. So, I mean, like, I think the last episode that he's going to be on is supposed to air this summer, if it hadn't already. I could be wrong on that.
I think it aired already, because they had a lot of guest hosts.
They did. They have. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, LeVar Burton, who we know is Geordie LaForge.
Yeah, both of them. LeVar Burton is in the leads for Jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope he gets it, because I mean, I think he's a cool guy, but Um,
I mean, how can you not like the Reading Rainbow guy?
yeah, right. Yeah, go read a fucking book.
Yeah, they should have done that.
You know, but
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It would have been funny as a kid. It's like, what are you doing? I'm reading a fucking book.
Yeah, right. Fuck you, I'm reading a book.
Fucking-
I'm on a vacation. I'm taking a trip. Yeah, where are you going? Well, normally I would say your mom, but you know, it's like I'm going to a faraway land called Middle Earth. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
no, how you getting there? I'm reading a book, motherfucker.
Yeah. God.
But yeah, so we can get the nerd portion of the show in. This trip that we took last week with my boys, went to Johnson Space Center.
Oh, yeah.
Visited that. That was pretty cool.
I
man.
love your keychain though.
Yeah, I'm not big on putting shit on my keychain, dude. Like at all.
I'm not
minimalist.
either.
But I saw this and I'm like, I had to get it. So for those of you who can't see it, because you're not watching it on YouTube, it's a red tag. It says remove before flight. So I'm gonna put it up on the camera here real quick. So I'll see if you can get a shot of that right there. But I saw that, man. I was like, you know what? I got to get that because that's pretty cool. Because otherwise, I've got the carabiner and I've got a Lego minifig for Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You know, past that, dude, it's, you know, I don't want to walk around and feel like a janitor, you know.
Oh,
And besides that, whenever you put your key in the ignition, if you got like some of these women's keychains that I've seen, holy crap, dude! It's a wonder that their ignition cylinders haven't fallen out. But
I've seen some of those, man. No, my dad's the world's worst though.
I'm sure.
Have you seen his keys?
I think I have.
It's just like a ball,
Yeah.
like the size of like a grapefruit. That's all his keys. I was like, Dad, what do you have? Well, this is it. I was like, don't explain it to me.
Don't need it. Don't care. Just why do you have that many? He was like, well, because I need them.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You're the one that's going to walk around and be a chiropractor's dream when you come in to get adjusted. But I went to Johnson Space Center. When you pull into the parking lot, they've got a Falcon 9 rocket that's been used, that's laid out on display. The first thing that you really notice, though, is...
Oh, did you get to see the new low subsonic jet?
No. Because when we got there, the way that they do it is you have to... It's kind of like Legoland where you buy tickets and you have to pick a time slot to go. But then they charge you extra stuff. They charge you extra to do like the tram tours. And then they've got different parts of it. They've got the blue tour is the one that you want to go on because that's the one that's got the astronaut training center on.
Okay.
We got there kind of late in the day, and we didn't know that you had to do that. And by the time we tried to get the tram tour, they were like, "Oh well, the blue one's all sold out." We were like, "Yeah, now we're good." But they've got the full size 747.
Should have took the baseball bat you got from the ballpark and said that slot's about to be open.
No, because then I would have been arrested. Because
If you got
NASA is a
caught.
government agency, dude, and I don't want to catch no federal charges. I'm sorry.
Are you afraid they're gonna throw you in space?
Hey, if they're gonna airlock
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that there's a group of areas? Because me and Mike talked about the
at best they
gamma.
would put you in that vacuum chamber.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on. But they've got that full size 747 there with a full size mock up of a shuttle. Now, I think that this is one of the greater travesties in the world is that Johnson Space Center in Houston, home of NASA, didn't get one of the retired shuttles. No, they had to build this mock-up. Now, they put actual, like, ceramic tiles on the outside of this bird. And it's cool because, I mean, it's full size. You get to, it's called Independence Plaza. So you go in an elevator. You can go all the way to the top, or you can walk around in the cargo bay. You can sort of kind of walk around in the crew cabin. And then you go down, and you can walk around inside the 747. And then you can walk underneath the aircraft, too, because, I mean, it's fully assembled. Tails, wings, engines, the whole 9 yards. It's all there. And it's just really kind of cool. It's massive in size, dude. It's just, it's pretty cool. Plus the fact that you're way up there, you know, you just kind of like, you feel really dwarfed by it all, you know. But they've got the International Space Station Center display set up there. They've got a lunar lander, our lunar module hanging from the ceiling in the visitor center. They've got the Apollo 17 capsule still on display. They've still got the moon rock that you can touch, but
We know it's fake.
they got so many people that have gotten their oils and nasty dick beater fingers all over that thing.
Did you ever hear the I don't know if this is true or not. This is something I heard in that they gave I think it's Amsterdam, or not Amsterdam, but Norway or Sweden, a moon rock, and they did an analysis and it wasn't real.
I didn't hear that, and that's just these people wearing their tinfoil hats saying that we didn't actually land on the moon.
Yeah.
I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I
Did
think
you
we
ever
actually did land.
have
on
you
the
ever
moon.
taken your kids to the plane museum down in Dallas?
No, I haven't.
It's actually me and my dad went because we had the God, words are not working for me today. The honor flight
Mm-hmm.
reunion type deal.
Yeah.
Where you come back and you just talk to the people that you met. But it's right next to the Gulfstream the Gulfstream.
Where they build them, or
yeah.
yeah, okay.
It's right next to that, and oh my Lanta, it is so interesting. Yeah, I said it. Someone got me stuck on it. I'm freaking saying.
No, I'm impressed. I all my Lanta. I'm like, hello, the 1980s called. And they want their commercial.
No,
back.
I watched The Ringer.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You know.
yeah, with Miss Kevin Bacon in it.
Yeah, and well, it was really interesting, and
That's
they
her
had.
name, Kara Sedgwick. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I still love that one part. It's like we fucking got ice cream. But it's interesting because it has all the aeronautical stuff that we've accomplished, and if you think about it, it's only been 100 years.
Yeah, from the time.
Or
that
no,
we-
200.
No,
it's
been
been
100
years.
So from the time that we took off at Kitty Hawk for the very first time to the time that we landed on the moon, dude, it's roughly about 100 years. Yeah, but
And it only took us like what 40 years to make it to the moon.
yeah, once we started putting our backs into it, yeah.
Yeah.
But
40 or 50.
well, it's amazing what you could get accomplished when you've got another superpower in the world that's trying to beat you there, and you want to be the first ones. But
Were they a really superpower though?
the Russians, yeah, they were. You know, it's that whole
After the wall fell, I mean, they made a movie of how much.
Well, in the
weapons
'60s, they were
used.
still relevant, man. I mean, come on. But you know, it. I loved. I mean, I had been there once before, 26 years ago. But you know, like a month or two before I shipped off for basic training. My mom and dad took us down there to visit my grandparents when they were still living down there. So we went there and we did the whole tour of the training facilities and everything, and I loved it. And I was like, that's something I wanted my boys to experience. And so we did that. Took my boys to the beach for the very first time. They both got sunburned because they didn't want to come out of the water.
They didn't get sunburned. They got fried.
Yeah,
You
well,
cooked your kids.
Colin got fried, yeah, but
You basically cooked your kids.
oh, but he's doing much better now. But
Did you take a piece off of his body and just see how much he tasted? Just
no,
Yeah.
no,
So-
no.
Is that too weird?
I did tell him though that he gets, you know, he puts on the lotion or he gets the hose. I did tell him that. But no, my girlfriend and
get
her
you.
family, they were great. We stayed with them during the week, last week, and I actually came back a day late because the boys were just so burned. I mean, they were miserable for like the last couple of days, but just give them an extra day of rest before I stuck them in a car for 6 hours. But man, I'll tell you what, the express tollways are the way to go.
Oh, yeah,
kid
I'm
you
telling
not,
you.
I shaved an hour and 20 minutes off of that drive.
Oh, yeah. Because you can go 80 on those. Or
Yeah, if you want to get
85,
run over.
Or 85.
No, dude. I think I probably averaged 90 to 92.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on those expressways, and that was just to keep from getting run over by cops. So, but you know, all in all, man, it was a really good trip. I mean, I'm gonna keep going. You know, I'm gonna make more and more trips down there. eventually, I the plan is to move down there on a permanent basis. But it. I mean, it's a great area, man. It really is. Just it's muggy in the morning, but that's fine.
It's been getting cold here. It's been like 73.
Well, like in the mornings, yeah,
Yeah.
before it spikes out. But it. I just want to make sure that I've got, on a personal side, I just want to make sure that all my ducks are in a row, and that my boys are being taken care of, and that I've got, that I can maintain the ability to take care of them. But it was a fun trip, man, and I'm glad that we took it, because we really needed to just get out of town and just kind of just do dude stuff.
Yeah, I've here lately. I've been doing. I mean, I went to the Spartan race.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that, and I mean, even going around just with hanging out with everybody, going on
Yeah.
that ruck.
And I firmly believe, and not to disparage this town or any community, but I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that Shepherd Air Force Base is still open, this town would have folded a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's because you got a lot of self-serving, self-absorbed.
Well, it's a retirement community, really.
Well, not so much the retirement community. I'm just talking about like the people who occupy the government and the law systems around here.
Yeah.
For the most part, dude, they're just self-absorbed. Self-absorbed. It's called enunciation, Johnny. Use it.
At least I'm not the only one.
Well, you have a legitimate problem. I'm just being lazy. But well, no, it's not a problem. You have a legitimate challenge. I'm just being lazy. How about that? So,
Yeah.
It's for the most part, man, the people that occupy the county and city government here, they're just self-absorbed pricks, dude, and they're just all about what can they do to make sure that their name gets put on a building, and it's like nobody fucking cares. Just take care of the people that live here.
It was like people were
us to death.
telling me about the world's smallest skyscraper.
Yeah,
and they're like, how can you not know that? I'm like, how long have you lived here? I'm probably around about, close to about 40 years. Oh, no, 48, 38. They're like, but you've never heard of it? I was like,
there's been no reason to
don't
go
care.
downtown. There up until just recently when they started this downtown revitalization program, there's been no reason to go downtown
No,
at all. Period.
unless you get your car registered.
Yeah.
Or if you go to like the freaking steakhouse.
Yeah, but I always tell people, they're like, Wichita Falls, where's that? I said it's exactly halfway between Dallas and Oklahoma City. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know where that's at. We pass through there all the time. I'm like, see, exactly. Nobody stops there except for gas, and they do that as fast as they can.
Yeah.
Nobody stops downtown.
Jack Menaville, we were talking about. He's like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Wichita Falls." He's like, "I drive through there all the time." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Everybody does."
Everybody does. Nobody stops here, and the people that stay here, they were either born here, they transferred in because of the Air Force, and they end up retiring here. We came here after my dad retired from the Navy, so he moved back home, brought everybody with him. Not that I regret that decision at all. No, I mean, great. Hey, awesome. But I graduated high school, stayed gone for 7 years, and I moved back. And this town has had its claws in me ever since.
That's a lot of people's opinion about this town. Is like, it just won't let me go.
And they got all these great ideas to try to, to build it up, but they're great ideas. What's the saying? Great initiative, but piss poor judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, their execution on these things is just shit.
But another thing, if you're listening and if you're out and about, we're gonna try. I gotta talk to the people this weekend. We're gonna try to go up to the Comic-Con here in town.
Okay.
They're gonna do another one.
Okay.
And we'll just do a show up from up there. We'll
Okay.
do it on Facebook Live, since it's the only thing we can do live. But it'll be in the works. We're going to see if we can get people to talk to us and everything while we're up there. And have a fun time.
Yeah.
Because when I went, the most interesting thing that happened was I don't want to say it was a fight. I want to just say it was a.
Scuffle.
They were just having fun. I mean, the whole thing was boring. So we'll see if we can liven it up a little bit.
Like, I need you, Lord Vader, to come over here and sit down. I need
Not
you,
even that.
Anakin, to come over here and sit down. So
No
tell
one
me,
did-
which
no
one
one-
of you fucked it up for everybody?
No one did cosplay.
Nobody?
Nobody.
That's kind of disappointing.
Well, a couple of spurts here and there, but it was kind of boring.
And
I
even
mean,
then,
I was,
and because it's Wichita Falls, I'm picturing this in my head. The cosplay was shit at best.
no, there's some people that actually do really good cosplay,
Really? Okay.
but they usually go to the big ones.
Not on the level of.
And
San
I ended
Diego
up talking,
Comic-Con. Okay.
because I talked to one of the vendors because she was a friend from high school, and we'll get into all the reason why we know each other now. But I ended up talking to the voices of Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Yeah, because I was waiting on the people that went with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And we just had a good conversation. They were like, do you want an autograph or anything? I was like, no, not really. They were like, really? I was like, I can't stand your show. And they're like, why not? I was like, it's too drawn out. It really is. It's just too drawn out.
See, now if we can get people like that on the show, and we can talk to them, we'd be like, hell yeah, I want my picture and I want an autograph. As a matter of fact,
I was like, all right, I'll give you an autograph, but geez.
feel like, go over there and get one of your like Dragon Ball Z Pop Funkos and autograph that bad boy and bring it back. So yeah, we'll do that. Because I mean, at least at that point, I'm gonna make some. I'm not gonna say make money off of it, because I'm not gonna turn around and be like, oh look, eBay, here you go. No, it'd be like one of the few autograph pieces that I have in my
Massive collection.
massive collection. Oh my god.
Friend of mine beat you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a Stanley Funko signed by Stanley.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways,
But I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman. Thank you for watching Nerd Sports, and you go ahead.
Keep it classy, San Diego.